Minnesota Vikings edge rusher Danielle Hunter is massively underpaid. Like it's a trope and a cliche that the two greatest values on this planet are Danielle Hunter's contract and the Costco $4.99 chickens. Like, yeah, they're probably full of GMOs and antibiotics. Like, how do you get a chicken the size of a turkey and then sell it for $5? You delicious bastards! But whatever. So Danielle Hunter is currently in year 2 of his 5-year, $72 million extension and is currently the 17th highest paid edge rusher in terms of average per year at 14.4, which is not ideal. Like, are you honestly kidding me with this list here? And now, as he weighs his options of what to do with his reported herniated disc in his neck, it's possible that he could use his injury as leverage in a new deal. Now, that seems cynical, like whatever, but players do need to use whatever leverage they can grasp, especially ones that are under multi-year contracts. And frankly, the market inefficiency with Danielle Hunter's contract, well, he signed the contract. No, it's beyond the pale. Like, it is ridiculous, right? So Danielle Hunter could easily freshen up his contract. Vikings can make it work too. So let's talk about how. So first, I think he's done for the year. I do. I think that he gets a surgery. I think that he moves on to next year. We're on to 2021. And I think it's smart because non-surgical, trying to rehab that in the neck, nah, because number one, necks are scary, especially herniated discs, but players who have come back from the surgery before, notably J.J. Watt, who went under the knife for herniated disc in 2016. Number two, his contract is out of guaranteed money, right? So the Vikings now basically are in control of that contract. His 2021 $12.15 million base salary is not guaranteed, so he's basically at the whim of the Vikings. And the Vikings generally have been good about rewarding their own, taking care of their guys in-house. It sends a good message to that locker room, and Danielle would be a prime candidate for that. Number three, he was second in the NFL in pressures last year. Number one, if you don't count guys who got to go against Riley Reef twice a year and Zadarius Smith. Also, he is still one of the best edge rushers in the NFL and will only be 26 next year and should make a full recovery. Will be good to go there. Number four, I mean, kids think they're invincible up until the moment that they're not. So they have a moment like this, Danielle Hunter. I mean, if you're chiseled like Danielle Hunter, you probably think that life is going to go on forever and your career is going to go on forever. You're probably going to play till you're 50 or something like that. But again, I'm all for being a team first player, but this has got to like wake him up. It's like, oh, wait a minute. My career could be over at any point. But being the 17th highest paid player at your position when you're easily 1, maybe 2 or 3, I mean, that's atrocious. That is absolutely inexcusable. So that has to be remedied. So question is, how can you leverage this? Like, it seems weird, right? A player with an injury suddenly gets more money, but agent approaches the Vikings in the offseason about a new deal. He has a surgery. Medical team checks. Both his doctor, both the team doctor, check it out. 100% good to go. A full recovery and is ready to rock and roll in 2021. So the agent approaches the Vikings about, hey, what about a new deal? And what about a freshening up of this deal? Huh? How about now? Since Danielle is under contract for 3 more years, we don't have the leverage to go after Joey Bosa or Myles Garrett money or DeMarcus Lawrence money, even though we could, since Danielle is on par or above all of those players. But just a little something, right? Just a little sniff. And all of a sudden, if the Vikings balk, if Spielman's like, well, we have no intention of extending Danielle Hunter at this time. Wait, that means that they do. Wait, whatever. Either way, say the Vikings are like, no deal. Like, we're concerned about that neck. It would be weird. He is under contract for 3 more years. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, maybe that neck is a little bit stiff. I don't know, it's weird. And then leaked in the media, which fans in general do not like when teams strong-arm players about money. They just don't, especially fan favorites like Danielle Hunter. So all of a sudden, it leaks to the media that, the Vikings are really squeezing Danielle Hunter, who tried to play through a broken friggin' neck for them last year. And then all of a sudden, So and then negotiating through the media, that PR suddenly turns on the Vikings, and you're like, And again, you may say that it's a little cynical that a player would do this with their injury, potentially withhold their services and then blame the injury, and when it really is part of a contract negotiation, except It happens. Again, players have to use whatever leverage that they have, any options at their disposal, and sometimes this is it. And also, it happened to the Vikings before. So remember, Adrian Peterson in 2016, when he missed time with a meniscus, even though he could have come back, it did not need the trim or the surgery. And also, a lot of his teammates were like, hey, man, hey, probably could have used it as we go 8-8 with Sam Bradford, son. But Adrian was trying to leverage and get his 2017 salary guaranteed. Didn't work out for him. Maybe it'll work out for Danielle Hunter. So now, I don't think that Danielle Hunter is so jaded that he would do that, but all options need to be open. And if he is concerned about securing the bag one more time, just because he saw his career flash before his eyes with this injury, he's got to do what he's got to do, right? And the Vikings can give Danielle a new contract, by the way. Tack on 2 years to the back end of the deal, freshen up some of the guaranteed money, have it be very front-loaded, as well as smaller injury guarantees. Like, put in a lot of trap doors in that contract where it looks like this, but if Danielle doesn't pan out, or if that injury creeps up again, the Vikings aren't on the hook. Basically, if the neck goes and you can't play, Vikings, no muss, no fuss. And I think Brzezinski, who's a genius with these things, could cook up a contract that has so many incentives, both playing time, both tackles, sacks, pressures, whatever you want to do, where if Danielle is revved up, ready to go, and he resumes being one of the best edge rushers in the league and is fully healthy, he can, through incentives, achieve that Bosa, that Myles Garrett type money. And if the world just turns on him and it just doesn't work out, yeah, it doesn't hurt the Vikings that much. Because if injury concerns continue to linger and impacts his career, the team is protected financially. So I think that both sides are motivated to get something done. I think that the Vikings do want to reward Danielle in-house. Of course, they want to protect themselves as that neck isn't 100% correct. And also with Danielle, I mean, clock could be ticking on his career. So getting a little bit more financial security as well as setting something up is that if he does come back 100%, if he is ready to rock and roll, then he can be compensated at the level that he's playing at. So I think that the Vikings could find a win-win here, potentially using this injury as leverage if you're Danielle. So we'll see. I think it'll be a good PR coup. Danielle gets the surgery, comes back 1,000%, like Rocky. Oh, and guess what? He's getting paid like one of the best edge rushers in the NFL because he is, and he deserves to be. Get out of here with that 14-4. All right, but your thoughts? Danielle Hunter possibly using his injury as leverage? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Pull some of the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.